Good evening. I hope everybody is having a good, rather than evening, morning. I hope everybody's having a great time. Let's play a game that I've been playing quite recently, and I've been playing with a friend, but I cannot get enough of this game. So, Outward is a very interesting game. It's an RPG that you get to build whatever class you want, and gonna fight very tough monsters. There's no leveling, and the only power level measure in this game is from the silver you gather from the equipment that you sell or the equipment you just happen to grab from the enemies you kill. So let's start creating our character. I honestly don't put much thought about the look of the character, because I barely look at the face of the character. I just end up having some closed helmet or anything else that just covers the face anyway. So this game released, I think, 5 years ago or something. But God, it's such a great game. All my life I lived within the safety of Cierzo, spared the brutality of the world outside. But life in Aurai is never easy. For all the safety that my tribe provides, our laws are harsh. We are judged not as individuals, but as bloodlines. The failures of my bloodline weighed heavily on me. My grandmother brought ruin to our tribe long ago, bringing a heavy blood price upon my family. We paid the debt caused by her actions ever since. Let me also switch here to here. There we go. I've joined an expedition across the sea with my old friend Yazan, hoping the money made would be enough to clear up my debts. This was a mistake. I'm lucky I'm still breathing after our ship hit rocks on the return voyage. Now I have no choice to pick myself up yet again and face the wild, untamed lands outside the walls. I must carve out my own future or die trying. So very quickly you will see a lot of things when you start this game. There's a weather meter of heat and cold onto the bottom left side. Also, this is our very nice looking character. There's also red and yellow bars which show your health and stamina. And on the bottom right there's your quick action bar, which only has one skill assigned right now, which is kick. Kick is one very powerful skill. Don't underestimate it. So you can pick up herbs, berries, and other things from the ground. You can pick up other objects like torches, and they have weight. All objects in this game have weight unless you have them equipped. Then they don't have weight at all. But they have other things going on. Here the torch, for example, you carry it on the offhand. It burns quickly, but it also warms up when you're holding it. And it lasts as long as the durability is over 1. So I have like 96 or 95 durability until this torch burns out. Here's a tattered attire. If I don't have anything equipped on the slot that I'm looting, it will be automatically equipped. This attire has 2 impact resistance to damage resistance, and cold and weather defense and durability. It's a tattered attire. It's not gonna be quite durable, but yeah, cold and hot weather resistance is important in some areas in the game. So always keep in mind that. Gathering some seaweed, and let's explore this very small tutorial area. For this, the game heavily encourages the player to explore around, because you never know what you can find from just looking around, like a fish harpoon over here. You also have to drink, eat, and sleep. Let me open this quickly. These are your needs: your health, your stamina, your mana. In this game you can gain mana, but the method to gain mana is very different from the usual RPGs, and it's quite good in my opinion. There's also a need for food, and a need for drinking, a need for sleeping, and a need of corruption. This will come into play a little bit later. So I have a 77% full gauge of drinking. So if I drink from the clear water over here, I will get a small buff over here denoted by this arrow and the water droplet, and my need for drinking is fulfilled completely. And because I drank water, and now I have 0.3 stamina recovery per second and more hot weather defense. This is important. Carrying a water pouch with some water will also help. But then, if you drink from the clear water, what happens if you drink from the salt water? Well, this happens. You take a huge penalty of thirst, and you shouldn't be drinking salt water at all. Always make sure to drink from clear water, or have a way to clear that water if you gather it from somewhere else. And here we have a lot of fires, bracers, an improvised bedroll, and our friend Yasan.
Hey there.
You're alive. You must be freezing. Come, warm up to the fire before you freeze to death. Where I am at Yasan, the last thing I remember was our ship hitting a rock.
We're not far from home. You can see the lighthouse from here, can't you?
Edo made it out too. He's making his way home to Sierso to get help. Edo made it out alive too. Thank Ilat. Ilat is a god.
He's a Kazite. He was born on a ship.
This is probably the first time we got to survive a shipwreck.
Go ahead and sleep in one of the extra bedrolls.
So this game has not completely voiced dialogue. Like, it just voices maybe half or a quarter, and then the rest you have to just read on your own. If you're still feeling too injured from the shipwreck, go ahead and sleep in one of the bedrolls I laid out. I will keep watch for Ito and rescuers. So, if you go to sleep, the tutorial area sends you back to town. But we don't want to do that just yet, because we have other business to attend in this area. So, there's trees over there that you can gather wood from. There's also crafting. I kind of neglect mentioning that. So when you start the game, you start knowing all these patterns. And these patterns are vital for your survival on the early game. Knowing how to make a campfire, knowing how to make an improvised bedroll if you don't have a bedroll, knowing how to make spikes for tripwire traps, travel rations in case you need to travel afar or you need food to last for a long time to fulfill your hunger need. There's a lot of things that you need to know, and that list of craftables is gonna expand more and more when you discover other patterns or know how to create other things, because the important thing is that you don't need to know the pattern to create something. You can discover it if you know beforehand, or you see if you kind of guess what would be the items required to create something. So I think I looted all of the stuff out here. So over there is just a wall, which we cannot access just yet. Well, we cannot access period. But it's always good to pick up these galberries. Some food you can steal. You can eat it raw. For example, these galberries can be eaten raw. And what they do is they give you a stamina recovery buff. And it's a very significant one. 0.1 stamina per second is it's pretty huge, because you need stamina for a lot of things. You need stamina for dodge rolling, you need stamina for hitting, you need stamina for blocking. So stamina is rather very important. Also, a corpse over here had a machete. If they didn't have a weapon, got equipped right away. Let's move the torch over here. And this small area is a tutorial combat area. Let's gather some more garberries. And we have two enemies over there, two hyenas. Ideally, we want the hyenas to approach us one by one. Hopefully I can accomplish that. Slowly taking notice of me. He noticed me, and now he's coming. Let's wait for the hyena to make the move. A kick, and bam. So, the red bar is, of course, obvious. It's a health bar. But the white bar below is very important. That's called an impact bar. That is how much it will be the stability bar. If the bar is full enemies have super armor, which means whenever you attack them, they will not stagger, they will not interrupt their action. If the bar is 50% full and lower, whenever you hit them, they will begin to stagger. And if the bar is empty, they will just be knocked down. And after they're knocked down and they get back up, the stability bar becomes full again. Knowing how to manipulate that bar is very, very important in this game. I got another piece of equipment. It's not that great, but it looks better than some tattered rags. Knowing how to manipulate that bar is going to be important because some fights you have to play it safe. Just poke them, kick them a bit until they are below 50%, and then just go all in and wreck them. The kick also just wrecks the bars, so make sure to abuse that skill whenever possible. So my pouch is full right now, and what this negative debuff says, greatly slows my movement speed as weight increases. So I can carry more than what my capacity is, but the more I have, the slower I will move until a point I would not be able to even move or turn around. So 10 weight capacity is very restrictive. However, this game allows you to carry a backpack, and even though this is not necessary because later in the game you're gonna get a priority satchel, we're gonna make one. So we make a priority satchel and we equip it. And now we have an extra container. Priority satchels, this is the most basic one, but now I can just move items over here and I will be free to move at full speed now. The same applies when it comes to container size. I can put more items as I want on the satchel, but there's a point I would not be able to move at all. So, and I might pick over here. So always be careful to not loot everything, not be a loot goblin, just know what to loot and drop what is not quite necessary. There's no harm to do multiple trips if there's a lot of valuable items, but know what's valuable and what isn't valuable. Another thing about backpacks is if I now try to dodge roll, the game is gonna warn me, hey, you have a backpack on, because backpacks, some of them have a disadvantage. That is, for example, on this one, my dodge rolls are gonna become slower, and when my dodge rolls are slower, enemies are gonna have an easier time hitting me, and I will become more vulnerable. So, what you can do, and something that the game very handily tells you early on, you can press a hotkey and you can just drop the backpack on the ground. That will drop the background and all the items inside it will be still in the backpack, which I will show right now. So now that I slip into the bedroll, they moved my backpack somewhere else. Now we have some proper equipment. There you go. So now we have two backpacks, of course. We have one here that the game provides you if you don't make one. And there's the one that I have. So, there we go. If you press the hotkey, the default one is B, you will drop the backpack. Then you press B again, you can load it. This one I can also pick it up and drop it, but since it doesn't have nothing, I will take it all and it will be added to my inventory. And then you would wonder, well, you could just sell this backpack, or what you can do is disassemble it. And I will get part of the ingredients used to make the backpack back. Some pieces can be disassembled for other raw materials. For example, tattered attire can be disassembled for linen cloth. This beige one has some good cold defense, but cold defense right now is not what I'm looking for, so I'm gonna get more linen cloth. And with linen cloth I can make a lot of other items, like for example, with 3 linen cloths right here I can make cloth knuckles, but I can also make bandages, and bandages are really important. Heal up between encounters. Need some gulberries, some jerky, and this right here is your storage chest in your house. To provide a mining pick, a grey garb, and some salt. Salt right now I don't really need it, so let's put it back in the stash. Same for the mining pick. I can probably, I will disassemble one of the mining picks, so I can just get more space in my bag. And the grey garb, yeah, sure. I'll throw it away too and get more linen. Down here we have some lantern, we have some bread, we have a cooking pattern right here. It's just a ceviche, some gulberry jam, iron, flint and steel, and an improvised bedroll. I think we have pretty much all what I require to make a survival out there. We have a long lantern over here because some areas in the game can be pretty dark. And this lantern is gonna shine some light. And if you don't need the lantern to be on, there's a hotkey to just disable the lantern and it will not consume its fuel. Since I don't want it to be on the offhand right now, move it back to the back. So right here we have a very permanent kitchen. And by default it doesn't have many cooking patterns, but it already know how to make gumberry tartare, which requires gumberry jam, which I just looted, and a piece of bread. What it's going to create is going to create gumberry tartare, 3 pieces of breaded jam that have the property of the gumberry tartarine. No. Of breaded toast, there we go. That has the properties of the jam, there we go. Should I want to have the properties of the gumberry into my system, I can eat some and I will have the stamina recovery. It's gonna be even better than the berries. The berries were stamina recovery 1 and this breaded jam has the properties of an even better one. So
you think you can nip off for 4 months and not pay what you owe the tribe?
So we owe money for the tribe because our grandmother kind of fucked up something. So
a blood price is sacred. You can't just shrug off that responsibility.
You can share that for as long as you did. So we have to pay up a blood price.
If I don't see the money from you by the time I count to 10, you'll regret you ever came home.
And we have people asking for payment, let's say. I have options, of course. I don't think a lot of options really matter much, but later on they really matter, so should have some attention to what the options give you. Let's be as kind as possible. I just woke up from a shipwreck, have heard, will you?
Yeah, you were on that ship too, weren't you? How many lives must your family be responsible for destroying before enough is enough?
I lost my daughter on that voyage. Stop this right now, you're being unreasonable, don't make this violent.
If you can't make the payments you missed, we will seize your home!
That ought to cover for 4 months of ignoring your duty to the tribe. Either pay up or get out of our way.
Enough of this! 12 people are dead. Stop this shameful behavior at once.
This is a time for the tribe to come together and mourn our lost ones, not to demand payments from a survivor.
To threaten someone like this while the lost lives are still fresh is an insult to their memory.
Smasher is a victim of that shipwreck too. Under the laws of the Blue Chamber Collective, I have declared a period of mourning. You understand what that means, don't you?
But Chamber Lady Aberdeen.
Smasher has clearly been...
I said that is enough!
If you want
to resume discussions after the mourning period, feel free.
But until then, your concern should be for those whose lives were lost in the wreck.
Oliel, see these people off, would you?
You heard, Mother. Away with you, or I will personally see to it that you get double shifts of guard duty.
Leave Smasher be. Smasher angry.
I'm sorry that was the first thing you woke up to. Please forgive them. Many of them have lost family and are not thinking straight.
I can't believe they want to seize my home. Can't you do something?
If I could do more, I would. The most I can do for you is declare a mourning period and buy you a little time.
Of course. If you don't pay off those 4 months you missed payments on your own, the tribe will have my head. For 5 days, no one in the tribe can ask for what you owe.
That gives you a few days to pay back the money. Either gather the money or earn a tribal favor, and they won't be able to touch you.
I have 5 days to pay back all 150 silver coins.
Once you can make the payment, come see me. Please find a way to make it work.
Last thing I want to do is to take your lighthouse away. This blood price is unfair. You can hold me responsible for things that are out of my control.
Have you forgotten why your family bears this blood price?
When your grandmother was chamber lady, she turned away the followers of Ilat in our time of greatest need, forcing the tribe to pray only to the 5 winds for protection.
Here's what you need to know.
Because of her pride, the dolphins were slain by the beasts of the scourge. Your bloodline owes to them to pay back that debt. How could I possibly forget? Not a day goes by without someone reminding me
This
of
is
it.
unacceptable.
You live and breathe thanks to the deeds of your ancestors. You cannot embrace such a gift if you cannot also bear the cost of their actions. I cannot possibly accomplish that. I need more time.
A dozen people lost their lives in that shipwreck, leaving grieving kin behind. Their need outweighs yours.
Trust me, I wouldn't be doing this to you otherwise. Their families need the assistance immediately.
You must find a way to pay what is owed to the tribe.
The last thing I
The last
want.
thing I want is to confiscate your home.
Then I will have to get outside the walls.
That does seem like your most effective option, dangerous as it is.
I thought you would be able to gather that much in a short time by staying in Cierzo. I believe you can actually get all 150 silver coins inside Cierzo if you know what you're doing.
No one is an orphan in Cierzo. Do not hesitate to ask the rest of the tribe for survival advice.
Though you owe us a blood price, we will help you however we can.
If you can do a great deed for someone in Cierzo, we will owe you a tribal favor.
Which I will accept as a substitute for your payment.
Once you're ready to leave Cierzo, speak with Burak, the gate warden.
He will judge whether or not you are prepared to face the outside world.
Remember, you only have a few days. May your ancestors watch over you.
To pay me 150 silver or show me a proof of you have earned a tribal favor. May your ancestors watch over you. So, quest log right here. Castaway was the tutorial. And now we have the main quest. You have 150, pay 150 silver to Risa within 5 days or you will lose your lighthouse in Cierzo. They mean it. You have 5 days or you lose your home. You don't have access to your lighthouse at all. So let's begin exploring the town of Cierzo. And as I say, exploring gets rewarded in this game. So let's talk to people and enter places.
Can I help you?
Who is important in this city? The Chamberlain Risa Aberdeen is usually in her manor on top of the hill when she stays in Cierzo. Briorak, the gate warden, is by the front gate, and Helen Turnberg is looking for a curious object. See her up on the raised deck near the inn. Anything else? No, that's
Carry
enough
on,
information. So right up here is the town hall. So let's enter the town hall and see what we can find. Also, these shiny glows usually mean lootable things or something that can be activated. It's always worth checking every spot because there can be a chest. Red light clothes, some discipline potion, and a poison rod. Oh yeah, I picked up early the cooking pattern for Cierzo ceviche. Teaches you how to craft food using a cooking pot. So I can read the pattern. Tells me that I learned a new recipe. And here are the tabs for alchemy, survival gear, or whatever that doesn't require a station, or cooking. And now I learned the Cierzo ceviche. And tells me that I need a rainbow trout, some seaweed, and some salt. And I can make 3 pieces of Cierzo ceviche. So I got some clothes, red light clothes. These clothes have a lot of heat protection for hot weather, some decent durability. And I don't think I should be allowed to wear these right now. But if I go to some hot weather area, I better have them at the ready. So let's get out of the town hall and let's keep exploring. So Cierzo, this is the town of Cierzo. Let me open the map really quickly. There are several icons over here. This icon over here shows that this is Lighthouse, my home. Those over here show me people that are of importance. This Scholar's Top Hat, I guess, Scholar's Hat, are the icons for trainers. Of course, the scales show general vendors. Of course, the potion for alchemists, and the hammer for the smiths and repair vendors. And of course, this other thing, Master Chef Argo is a chef. And these plain circles are objects of importance, like town hall and the water purifier. So they say that Helen Turnbull was looking for an object of importance. So let's see what she needs.
Greetings, friend.
Always a pleasure. What do you want? I'm here for work.
Lend me your ear.
What do you need? I'm looking for something I can do nearby.
As a matter of fact, I could use a brash explorer for something.
Tell me, what would you risk for some silver? If the pay is good, I'm willing to put my life in danger.
Here's what I need.
Looking for a rare mushroom in the shape of a shield. I hear it grows in the Blister Burrow, northeast of Cierzo.
You'll know it if you find it.
Mint size and red color. I will bring me that mushroom and I will pay 70 silvers for it. Sounds like an adventure.
Perfect. Lend me your ear.
They gave me 2 antidotes and I get a new quest. Okay. I'll leave you to
I'll
your
see
work.
you.
Of course, you will notice, hey, there's no quest over here because there's a major quest tab and there's a minor quest tab, and it went over here. Helen's Fungus. Get the mushroom shield of the depths in the Blister Burrows, northeast of Cierzo. Of course, that means I will have to come out of Cierzo. Let's also... Right over here is the inn. So let's check what the inn has to say for us. Innkeeper.
What is it?
Come in. Having the usual. I'd like to talk.
The customers
How is your
have
attempt
been
to
talking.
pay off the blood price going? You better find the silver if you don't want to lose your home. Oh, that reminds me. Karen Turnbull is looking for was around here. She's looking for someone to hire for a job. So some survivors. There's possible that some survivors of the wreck washed up on the beach further out of Chersone. If you could save one of them, I'm sure they will return the favor. So that's already giving us even more hints on how to pay off our debt. We have a caravaneer over here. Let's say we want to sell some stuff. I like to talk. Nothing particular. Doesn't seem that he has anything to say.
Friend.
Of course, we can buy and sell items. This guy is sending some okay things. But we have some stuff that we can part with. I'm gonna sell off my hides, for example. I have no use for the hides right now, and some of the iron scraps. Right now I can get rid of. I have 38 silver to my name. The red light clothes actually sell for a hefty amount. That's not bad. I'm gonna receive a couple of silver, and this is all the total silver that the merchant has at his disposal. There's also gold bars that he can trade. Because there's something that is important about this game is that money also has weight. And the only way to carry a lot of money in this game is to trade it into gold bars. Because gold bars can always be bought and sold by the same price from any merchant in the game. We have the alchemist up here, and let's pay a visit to the smithy.
What can I do for you?
Let's see what you have.
All right.
Smithy has a couple of stronger weapons than our machete. We can always compare. This iron sword, for example, deals 19 damage, 15 impact damage. doesn't swing as fast as Machete, but it has a lot more durability. It has a one-handed mace, axes, a dagger that can only be equipped on the offhand, shield, two-handed weapons, fist weapons, halberd, spears, a mining pick, plated armor. Plated armor is heavier than your normal clothes, but it comes with the disadvantage that your actions and movement take more stamina cost, and also you move a little bit slower because you are using heavy armor. Tripwires, you can lay out traps in the ground and you can arm them with different items. So when an enemy goes over and triggers them, they get hit by different assortment of things. Can be either iron spikes to even you can put a weapon inside and tripwire, and different weapons have different properties. And there's a lot of different crafting patterns over here as well, and bullets too, because you can use guns in this game, and to use guns you need bullets. Okay, now I kind of regret that I sold the hides, but right here there's some patterns that you can learn as well. As I said before, there's survival patterns over here that are the standard ones, but now we can learn a new set of patterns for makeshift leather attire. Oh, right, because I am gliding on the table. Makeshift leather attire, makeshift leather boots, and makeshift leather hat. And these pieces of equipment require some basic boots and some hide. Same for this and same for this. So I'm gonna need 4 pieces of hide and some basic equipment that I can sacrifice. For example, these, the worker boots, some worker attire, some worker hat. Let's visit the Master
Can I
Chef.
help you?
Master Chef also has cooking patterns over here. These are very, very important, and there's keys in this game. So the more you use a resource, whether it be stamina or taking damage in battle, you can recover some of that resource. But in order to make a full recovery, you can either go to sleep for a considerable amount of time, or you can drink very specific teas to recover that burnt section of your resource. Different teas affect different resources. There's one for mana, there's one for stamina, and there's one for health. And here are, according to the map, the trainers. Also, something very important to point out, there's no player marker in the maps. You have to figure out by landmarks where you are. And here's Ito, the one that survived the crash, but also brought
Amber,
hell.
my friend.
I'd like to talk with you, Ito.
Curious.
Oh, he doesn't want to say
Amber,
anything.
my friend.
Can you teach me how to fight? What do you want me to teach me? And he will give you a long breakdown of what to do. What is the best way to prevent taking hits from enemies?
When the enemy bears down on you, a swift dodge will get you out of harm's way.
If your foe is quickly, you may want to drop your backpack. Most backpacks slow down your roll.
Blocking will prevent the enemy's physical strikes from harming you, but every hit you block will drain your stamina.
To block projectiles, you must use a shield. Against magical explosions, you will need to dodge.
If you need to get into a better position or to flee, just sprint.
Take care not to run for too long, or you will be too exhausted to fight. I want to train with you, Ito. And this is one of the more important systems in the game. So this trainer is a Castellite Spellbreaker, and we can learn different passives and active skills. In many trainers, they have a lot of skills that you can learn that are quite different from these ones. But something that is worth knowing is that you can learn any skills down here, but all the skills up here you need to spend a breakthrough point and some money. Your resources for breakthrough points are limited. You only have 3, and you don't get any more. Of course, you have to notice as well that the price of these skills are pretty steep, at least for the early game, 500 silver. After you learn a breakthrough skill, you can learn any of the skills up here, but only one of every row. For example, if I want to learn Infuse Frost, which is gonna cost me 600 silver, I will not be able to learn Infuse Fire. And once you learn it, you cannot unlearn it, so your choices kinda matter. Same for Elemental Discharge or Gong Strike. Right now we have 51 silver, and we can learn Fitness, and then if we have more money, we can learn Sturdy Arm. We can learn all the skills from the bottom area with no restriction whatsoever. Some skills require other skills to be learned before you can learn them. For example, if I learn Steady Arm, I will be able to learn Shield Charge afterwards when I have the more money. But Fitness is always a really good pickup early game because 25 health increase and the amount of health restored when sleeping increased by 20% is nothing to joke about. So right now I'm thirsty, and that is a good segue to see what happens if you are thirsty or hungry. Your max stamina decreases 3%, 3 times faster, so it's always good to satiate that thirst. So notice there was a marker for this guy, so let's talk to Roland Argerson.
Oh, what brings you here?
How's my brother doing?
What's my brother doing?
Well, Yasan is alive. There's more than most other people on our expedition can say.
Yeah, a shame about the shipwreck. Accidents like this happen all the time.
We can be very kind with Roland, but not even the lighthouse is lit. Who was on duty that night?
Not a clue. It wasn't me, though, that's for sure.
It wasn't me. Shouldn't you be helping your brother salvage the wreck?
I don't think he wants my help.
Was it stupid and
This
clumsy?
is the worst day I've had in forever.
I will just probably get in the way. Oh boy. So, this guy, Roland, was meant to be on duty for the lighthouse. But for some reason, he wasn't on the lighthouse and the wreck happens.
Can I help you?
Let's talk with the master chef.
Can you lend me a hand?
I always loved the ceviche your parents made. I never was able to achieve the same taste. Could you prepare some cierzo ceviche like your parents used to? I will return the favor. Sure.
Yes.
Can I get all the ingredients of the dish of Cersone? You remember how it goes, right? A rainbow trout, seaweed, and some salt in a great pot. No.
Farewell, my friend.
So, the recipe that we picked up earlier is what he's asking for. And we already know what the materials are. And in case we didn't know, the guy is very kind to tell us what the materials are for making what he's asking for. So let's very quickly gather some fishes. And because I have a fishing harpoon, I'm able to fish out some of these fishes. And hopefully I can find a rainbow trout, but it's looking like I'm not being helped with. The water purifier has some water, so let's drink before my stamina gets absolutely shot. And I think that's all of the fishes that I spawned. I'm gonna very quickly check again. Oh, Yasan is over here. I could talk to Yasan right now. He probably has something to say.
I wish I could greet you with a smile, but, well...
We will know what happened in that spread. What a disaster.
Yesterday I was leading our most ambitious expedition in a decade. Now, all that's left is this wreck, and a tribe in mourning.
I'm not holding it much better than you are. What happened? How did your ship sink so close to home?
The lighthouse wasn't lit at the time we made impact with the rocks.
I remember thinking... I remember thinking we should have seen it by now, right before we hit the rocks.
We lost everyone who was below the deck at the
How
time.
the ship came apart before it was able to run aground. So we lost everything, all the coins, the spices, the armor, and the weapons?
Unfortunately, yes. What little we could salvage from the wreck has gone to the families of my drowned men.
My parents are reeling from this loss. I have barely enough left to start over. Still, we don't have no right to complain. All we lost was some coin and 4 months' time of this paid journey. My sailors lost their lives. Yasan, I have 5 days to gather 150 silver or I will lose my home.
How much? That's right. You haven't been able to make payments on your blood price while we were gone.
You always send over the stick, don't you?
The blood price on your head is
It's disgusting.
disgusting.
It's unfair to
You
call.
weren't even born when that tragedy happened.
It's unfair to call anyone responsible for the crimes of their ancestors. You weren't even born when that happened. I welcome the challenge because it's used to get out there and fight adventure. Sure, it's still
Or you'd
adventurous.
find an
for her.
early grave and lose a leg.
He's referring to himself, by the way. He has a peg leg. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. My prosthetic arm and leg are a testament of how stupid that statement is.
Suffering doesn't help anyone. I often wonder if we're alive because of our tribal laws or in spite of them.
Any system that forces pain upon anyone innocent has no right to exist.
I'm sorry I don't have better news. Best of luck with squaring things with Risa in the short term.
It's up to us to pick up the pieces. So I have two options. I could either try to mock him, I want my money back, hand it over, or beat it out of you, or I can just be, okay, I guess on my own.
Actually, I do have a small stash of goods I hid in case of disaster.
No shipwreck in the south. When you open it, remember that moon commands the stars, and you will know what I mean.
Remember, you're not just a link in a chain. You're worth more than the blood in your veins.
To be a tool of us, or you end up missing a limb like me, make your own path. Thank you, Yasan, for giving us some hint. Also, some more items that are scoured around Cierso. I think there's always 3 spawns of fishes. I'm gonna check near the water again. But I could be wrong, and it could only be 2. I guess I'm wrong, because there was only 2. Let's seal off some of these things that I
Is there
obtained.
something you need?
I got like a couple of pins of steel. I only need 1 anyway, so let's sell. The Sura shrimp sells for a hefty amount. I don't feel like using a 200 axe, so I will sell it. Same with the machete. I think I can sell all that. And this is a general trader, and he sells a lot of things. But most importantly, he sells a bigger backpack. One that carries 50 instead of 25, but still has the penalty of dodge rolls are slowed down while having the backpack on. There's of course the other teas I was talking about, the bitter spicy tea, the mineral tea, and the soothing tea that we already seen. The bitter spicy is the one that restores my burnt stamina. The mineral one is the one that restores my burnt health. Also some old lanterns and some very expensive pieces of gear. Some padded helmet, a fur armor that has resistance to physical and frost, but has a metric aston of cold weather resistance, and some fishing harpoons and all the other stuff. Travel rations, cooking pots, tents, and other recipes over here. So, if you noticed, I have 73 silver so far. So we are almost halfway there, but I'm gonna be spending a bit of it because, as I
What
said,
can I... All right.
the Maceman cometh, and I want to use a mace. So let's buy the mace and let's equip it. We equip the mace, it equips our other weapon, the machete. And that mace has lower attack speed, but it has a lot of more damage, a lot more impact. Maces are
What can
pretty
I
good
do
at breaking stability.
All right.
So, sell the machete, and we prepare to depart. But there's more random items here and there. Burak, I am ready to go.
Whoa! Hold up there.
Where are you
Where do you
going?
think you're going?
I'm going outside, Burak.
Oh, not like that you aren't. You need at least an equipped weapon, a water skin, and an equipped backpack before you're ready to face the outside world.
What do you mean by that?
If I let you adventure outside without basic equipment, you'll be marching to your own death.
Of course.
If you're pressed to find a weapon, make yourself a quarterstaff.
You craft a backpack. I'm sure you have one lying around at home. Yeah?
I'm also sure you can find a spare water skin by the water purifier on the town beach.
Don't forget to fill it up before you go there. Okay. So Burak is very kind to tell you, hey, grab all those things before you go out because you're gonna need them. We already been to the water purifier, but we didn't pick up the water skin because I kind of wanted to show what Pura could say. So pick up the water skin. And you notice as well that the water skin has weight of 1.5, and these little pellets, these are the amount of charges it has of the content. So if we use the water skin right now, one of them will empty out. And also, it will lower the weight of the water skin. Many fluids can go in the water skin, but it's usually water. So make sure to have that water skin filled up because it's very vital for your survival out there. You don't want to be thirsty out there and burning your stamina like crazy.
Need something?
I'm going outside, Pura.
Well, you got the essentials at least.
I will teach you skill.
Here, I'll teach you a skill.
Mastering the key, mastering this is the key of survival. I want to teach you for one weapon you're currently holding. So the game is kind enough to tell you, hey, we're gonna teach you a skill and it's based on the weapon you're holding. If you want to learn any other skill, just make sure to change the weapon that you're wielding and they will teach you a different skill. Because we're using maces, let's learn a skill based on maces. Of course I want to learn.
There you go. Mastering skills is the key to survival out in the wild.
You should look for trainers whenever you visit a new town. They're usually grouped near training equipment, otherwise you need to be sought out.
All right. I feel comfortable letting you outside the wall.
I'll let you go outside the town
Use the
walls.
door when you want to head out.
Stay safe out there. So we learned a new skill. And this skill that can be assigned over here, in this hotbar, is Mace Infusion. Requires 100 bludgeon. Blocks an elemental attack infusing your weapon with that element. Because using it from here sounds kinda painful and inconvenient, we can assign it to the quick slot. We can assign it to number 2. There's also other skills that are here, like Dagger Slash. If I have a dagger, which goes always on my offhand, I cannot normally swing it. It will always be in my other hand. I have to use Dagger Slash. Uses 2 stamina and very short cooldown. Simple attack with my dagger. Fire and reload that requires pistols and bullets. This is the skill to load up my pistol, and if I use it again, it will fire my pistol. The push kick skill, which we already have seen in action, and the throw lantern. Throws your equipped lantern to the enemy, creating a zone of 5 seconds. Using this skill, destroys the lantern. Those are passive skills, and there's cosmetic skills. When I learn passives, they're gonna go over here, and these are my cosmetic skills that are that come from the game. I guess from buying the DLC. Since we have the green light to go out, let's go out and explore Chersone. Worth pointing out that there's always more than one way to get into an area usually, so going through the main door might not always be the right choice. But there's something curious that happens if you don't go through the main door. But in case of people that are beginners and want to kind of see how the game works, let's follow through the breadcrumb train. Since we are now outside, it's getting kind of night. Let's open the world map. And as I pointed out, no player marker. But we can see some highlighted areas in this game, like a bandit camp, some ancient ruins, a fort, the Vigil Pylon, a bandit camp over here, some ancient ruins over here, a bendable fortress, Conflux Mountain, and Cierzo. And this is the compass for Outward. So we have also a compass on the upper right side of the screen that tells us the directions, but if you open the map, you can tell Cierzo is over here. That means that we are right over here. And they told us that to the northeast, either over here and over here, is a burrow that has a shield that was asked for us to get. So let's make our way over there. First things first, let's pick up some gumberries, because those are pretty good. We have trees everywhere. I kinda came out with a very full pack. Actually, before we go into an adventure, I should lighten the weight of my backpack, because otherwise I would not be able to carry anything. Also, don't be afraid to spend the silver, even though the game asks you for 100 silver, and that seems like a lot really early on. You will see when you make some smart investment, you will be able to make that amount in very short time. I'm gonna make one big investment though. Well, rather big.
Is there something you need?
A good investment, and it's buying a small backpack. I'm gonna sell these. I'm gonna keep the salmon at least for a bit. I'm gonna sell one of the Clinton Tinders, sure. Move this here. And the raw meat as well, move it over here. Confirm that. Also, something else that is important to know is, let's say for example you go out in the wild and you find yourself with an empty water skin. You can gather some salt water. The game will tell you, hey, you have salt water now in your water skin. So how do you go around cleansing the water skin? Let's go into a campfire or a cooking station and you will see what happens. So we go down here, we go down here, it goes to the cooking station. Since there's no recipe, we can manually make our own recipe. I have some salt water. Let's boil it. It should be boiled over a campfire to produce clean water. It also provides salt, which is using in cooking and alchemy. We're gonna boil it, and we get 5 pieces of salt and some clean water. And because of that, I can make meat stew if I so desire, which help a lot. But we have also raw meat that happens to rot very, very quickly. Let's put some raw meat over here, and it will tell me, hey, you're gonna get some cooked meat out of that. But why have one single piece of cooked meat when I can just turn a cooked meat, some salt and gumberries into 3 meat stew? And that's gonna make a lot of food for my journey. So we got a backpack. How do we go around equipping it? Normal way. Just right click equip, open my primitive satchel, loot everything that was inside it. I'm gonna drop the other torch because I need 2 torches, and loot everything. And I'm gonna take the primitive satchel, and I'm gonna move this here. I'm gonna, like I did before, remove the hides, and because I have hides, I can unequip these, unequip these, grab these, and I can make a makeshift leather attire. We have this, the green workers attire, not many stats, but now with these, now that's a lot more stats, and it has an additional bonus, plus 5 pouch bonus. Now with this makeshift leather attire, I can equip it, and now my pouch size has increased from 10 to 15. That is a substantial upgrade, and now I have more space. But we're gonna leave out this. The quarterstaff I cannot disassemble, but I'm gonna put it back here. Okra pickles. So, as I said before, even though if you don't know how to make a recipe, you can always use the kitchen and say, I want to make some tea. If you put a spice, a beetle, and some water, you're gonna learn a new recipe and you can acquire the ways to just very quickly make tea. This tea is gonna come very handy because it's the one that recovers burnt stamina, which is marked right here with this grayed yellow part of my stamina bar. You drink some, that bar disappears, and now I can restore more of my stamina. Also, worth pointing out that my lantern now is hanging behind my backpack. Some backpacks are have a slot to put your lantern, and if you want it on, you can light it on, and it will stay on as long as you want it. Of course, you can also press the hotkey, the V hotkey, to just turn it off. Since it's rather dark right now, let's turn on the lantern, and we can see a little bit here. Anything else I need to get rid before we go into an adventure? Not really. I can probably refill this water before I go out. Eat some food and drink some water to recover some stamina, and let's make a pit stop at the water purifier to refill our water pouch, and we can head off into an adventure. Also, sorry if some people expect things to go into a very fast pace, but I always like to very slowly introduce people to elements of the game before we go full speed into fighting. Gather some water and off we go. Also, there's no need to actually be running the entire time, because if you run you consume stamina, and if you consume stamina you can start burning a lot of stamina. And you have to get used to be running and walking a lot, because there's no mounts, there's no any of those things. There's a quick travel, but the quick travel of this game is severely limited. It's not like, say, your Skyrim or your Oblivion, where you can click a location and just fast travel over there. You will have to leg it a lot, so be ready for that. So we are now again out here. It's very dark. Let's see if we can find some enemies to fight and loot. We're gonna head first to that burrow that has some cave. And there's a wild bird over there. As I said before, having the backpack. Oh, well, it's looking. No, yeah, also worth pointing out. Some monsters can fight each other. So a good strategy sometimes is letting them fight each other, and then pick off and kill the survivors. And now we have 2 kills. And what do we get from this guy? Some hide and some meat. That's some meat and some egg. Because we got a hide, we can make some makeshift leather boots, the worker boots and the hide, and turns into this way better piece of equipment. That's 2 pieces of the makeshift leather set. Some salt crystal. If we mine it with the mining pick, get some salt. You don't need to have the mining pick nor the fishing pole equipped to do that. You need to have them in your bag or your pouch. Let's keep moving along. So I have my drink over here. I need to drink something because I've been talking non-stop for a while. There's another pearl bird over here. He hasn't spotted us, so let's get a running hit. We got hit a bit. Ow. And we got a debuff. So some enemies, when they hit you, they can apply a debuff. There's also a warning mark over there that tells you you need to bandage. You took some health damage. So let's bandage. And let's also eat some meat. The meat stew has a different bonus. If you've seen before, I've eaten some crabberry berries and some tartarine. It gave me some stamina regeneration. Meat regenerates health over time. This is my buff from bandages, and this is my buff from eating meat. So that's a substantial amount of health being recovered. And there's the debuff that was applied by the pearl bird, pain. Physical resistance reduced by -25, so that means I'm gonna take even more damage. Always be careful to not be engaging fights. These very nasty debuffs. So if you get a debuff like that, either be good at dodging and blocking, or try to not be in a very bad situation that could get you killed. By the way, we're playing on normal, because there's normal and hardcore. On hardcore, if you get killed, there's always a 25% chance that you will flat out die and your character gets deleted. In normal, your character never dies. You will always be knocked unconscious and you will be sent somewhere else. But you will never die. In this game, it will always be an inconvenience if you die. But you have to be always ready to accept the consequences of you not being prepared. If you're prepared and you know what you're doing, you're gonna have a very easy time with a lot of encounters. Just be ready with your potions, your food, your bedroll, everything. So we are in the burrow, and the burrow is very dark. We found a corpse. It has some padded boots. So these padded boots are better than our makeshift counterpart. So let's equip them. Some Hex Cleanser. Strange brew that removes hexes like pain, confusion, and the starter process of healing the hunch disease. There are diseases that some enemies can apply to you. Also increases the drinker's protection against a status negative status effects. So they did some potion. Stability potion. Increases my impact resistance. Some jerky. So all very useful things. And some green mushroom over here. Of course I could eat, not eat, I could drink the Hex Cleanser, but I think my pain thing is not gonna be much of a problem. At least right now. We can gather some mushrooms. Oh, we have a troll. We have our first humanoid enemy over here, and it's always good to know what are our patterns of attack. He has a long swing. He has a charge. But it's a very easy fight, so always take it slow and easy. It has some wood, but it has a troglodyte trident. The trident is a two-handed weapon. Doesn't have much durability. Damage is not that great, and the impact is not that great. So our mace is still pretty damn good. So let's see what we can find. An alchemy recipe for firestone. Let's learn it. Some silver, a green worker's attire, some minor omelette, and some lantern, and a plank shield. Sure. We don't have a shield right now, so let's get a plank shield. It's better than nothing, so. And now with right click, instead of blocking with our weapon, we block with the shield. That helps. Since we have two lanterns, I could just get rid of that worker attire, so the worker attire can disassemble it and get more linen cloth. And one of the lanterns, I can just disassemble it and get some iron scraps. Raw materials that can be used for other things. The junk pile over here that I looted. Let's keep going this way. See what we can find. Always be careful, don't rush headlong into something. These pillars right here can be mined, and they can be mined for mana stones. Mana stones are unrefined minerals that irradiate raw magic and can be used in many alchemical recipes. And we have some blood mushrooms over here, which are different than the common mushrooms. Plant mushroom that restores little hunger and often found in dank caves, and peculiar toadstool that gives headaches when eaten raw, but it has an ingredient on health restorer. But it is an ingredient on health restoring elixir. Sometimes the descriptions. Throw lantern is a good weapon. May Jimmy. Good evening or good morning, brother. How you doing? I'm not quite convinced on the throw lantern system, but it can be good. So here we have some more items that we can gather. Some big oil to fuel our lantern and some minor omelette. A spare mining pick that in case our mining pick breaks after using it too much, because mining in this game takes the durability of your mining pick, and if it breaks, you either need to repair it or you can scrap it. But the only way to repair is equip it and go to sleep and repair, or go to a smithy. There's a pair of trogs, so fighting 2v1s can be pretty nasty. Fighting 3v1 can be really, really nasty, so let's run and not look back for a bit, and hopefully some of them will de-aggro. But there's also some other things that I can do if I know a recipe or two, which I happen to do right now. So if you put a piece of wood, some linen, and do I have enough scraps for it? I do not. Okay. A piece of wood, some linen, and 2 iron scraps give you some tripwire, which in combination with other things, you can make some very potent traps for the early game. Let's see if I can lose at least one of them and make this fight easy on me. And if everything fails, you can Unga Bunga. No worries about it. There you go. When the 3 cannibals after me, I throw a lantern, they die. Yeah, there's situations that can be pretty useful. But I'm not always happy to throw a lantern like that. Maybe if I have more, then I would probably consider it. So 2 of the 3 trogs are dead. The game is already telling me, use your bandage. And we have a couple more weapons. So troglodyte tridents are pretty heavy, and if I pick up both of them, I'm gonna be over encumbered on my backpack. So let's check what they have. Piece of wood, some common mushroom. The common mushroom is rather light, so we can take it. I will throw the trident because it's way too heavy, and we kinda need the space to pick up other things. So let's find that last troglodyte before we keep moving on. We didn't check over here because there's a chance. Oh no, we did. Okay, so this is the way then. Oh, there's the art drop. So, oh, there were 4 in total. Okay. Oh. Okay. Block. Boom. There we go. Done. Never be afraid to use bandages to restore some health. So, worth pointing out as well that in this game, attacking with weapons, there's 2 types of attacks. There's normal attacks with your left mouse click, and there's the special attack which you can do with your middle mouse key. You can combo your normal with your special, and it would be always different. 2 normals and a 3rd special hits like that. 3 normals and a special hits like that. And let's show quickly how that's done. Let's do 2 normal, a special, and that almost gets him staggered and killed. And now he's dead. More common mushrooms. And a blood stone. Let's slowly recover. Let's make some bandages meanwhile, because I think I'm very low on bandages. And to be sure that I see my bandages, I'm gonna put them in here. In my quick bar. At least temporarily before, until I find something better to put over there. I feel there's probably like maybe 3 or more trogs in this barrow before it's fully clear. But always be at the ready. Throw a kick, hit 1, twice, now it's knocked down, and finish the guy off before he has an opportunity to do something else. Well, that's a more special one. So that's a Trog Archmage, if I remember correctly, and the small balls that are floating about are little things called boons. Those are buffs, and if I'm not careful, even the most normal troglodyte is gonna tear me a new one. So I'm gonna use my bandage. My buff from the meat buff has run out, so let's eat another meat stew. And let's get ready for this little guy. Because I use my mace infusion skill, I was able to absorb the attack that came my way. And now I have a couple of buffs, both on me and my weapon. I have the mist buff, ethereal damage and resistance increased by 20%, and greater ethereal imbue. It's on my weapon, the iron mace, and weapon deals some ethereal damage. This is a way to block magical attacks. Dark Mage didn't have anything special, but it has a troglodyte staff. The troglodyte staff is not quite impressive, but it has an additional bonus that reduces the mana cost of spells used when you are holding it by 10%, and it has 6 physical damage and 6 ethereal damage with 22 impact. That is not terrible, all things considered, but we can probably sell it for something back at home. Oh no, I'm mistaken. That was not the Archimage. This guy is the Archimage right here. That was a normal troglodyte mage. Let's make quick work of these guys while I'm buffed. Oh, he's buffed. Let's put some harm before this guy. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. Now that's the Archmage. And we find some other things over here. Also, I'm out of stamina right now, so I'm gonna be unable to do much of attacks or dodging. Let's put a bandage on. Let's eat the last piece of the Gumberry Tartarine. And let's drink some water to recover some more stamina. You notice we almost have like 2 or 3 rows of buffs, but it's all worth it. He drops a mana stone and some dark varnish. Try it over here, and it's a run of them. Even though it's glowing, it's because it has some enchant on it. No enchant, sorry. Enchant and imbues are completely different things in this game. It has some ethereal imbue on it, just like how my weapon is glowing with ethereal. So we picked a dark varnish. It's a thick fluid that converts the decay element when applied to a melee weapon. This is how you imbue your weapon with a different elemental damage. And this is what we came for, the mushroom shield. My bag is also a bit overweight, so what I can do is I could probably use the shield for a bit. No, but never mind. I'm gonna put it over here so I can offload some of the weight that my bag has. There we go. Now I'm not over encumbered on my bag, and I'm not over encumbered on my pouch. At least not yet. What do we have around here? More clear water. Nothing over here, nothing over here. We are kind of full in terms of HP. Stamina, we are doing okay. Let's finish exploring everywhere. Some more mana stone, a stealth potion, a cranberry wine, that's pretty good, and weather defense potion. Concoction that provides relief from warm and cold temperatures. Note that it has no effect on frost and fire damage. These are very handy. Worth having around when the time comes. My imbue ran out. So did my boom. Small sapphire. A tiny precious stone with a royal blue color. It can fetch a good price. Iron scraps. This will help me illustrate something. Some trader boots. Trader boots already. Jesus. Trader boots. Some tiny resistance, some cold weather, some impact resistance, some durability. But what I wanted to illustrate was piece of wood, some linen, and some iron scraps here and here. And if you put them all together, you get some tripwire trap. Tripwire trap over here, device that must be armed with a compatible item and then triggered by an enemy. After deployment, traps can be disassembled to retake the trigger at the item inside. So I'm gonna assign it to the quick bar because I like it to have it on the quick bar. And if I press my E key, I get this light faded thing showing where my tripwire would be. I can put it down. And right now it has nothing. It's empty. But if I open it, it will allow me to put weapons of any sort of degree, and it will tell me what happens if I put, say, a pickaxe. Will do low physical damage with high impact and increased confusion, which is really handy. It will tell me that it's going to become a spike trap with a staff or a harpoon or a troglodyte spear, which deals some moderate amount of physical damage. Tripwires are very handy early on in the game, and it can turn multi-enemy fights into fights that are more manageable. The kind of fights that you don't need to run away until like enemies lose interest in you. Let's check out if they have any other iron veins. I think there's only one in this area. But I think I did quite a clear. Yeah, over there were the mages I bought. And iron vein over here. How many scraps do I have right now? Scraps. I think I have like 3 scraps. Okay. If I can get one more piece of scrap, I can show another very basic but important recipe. Some star mushroom, drop chest. So the mushroom shield is not like a very unique thing, but the one that is over by the massive bracer in the center of the barrow is a guaranteed spawn. So now we have 2 mushroom shields, which means that my beloved plank shield can take an early retirement right now. Because the mushroom shield is better than the plank shield. Special grown fungus used by troglodytes as offerings to their queen goddess. It makes for a surprisingly usable shield. Inflicts poison on shield charge. Shield charge is a skill that you can learn from the trainer that I've shown earlier in the stream. Oh, Hakimite. So sometimes mining nodes can yield a special resource, and in the case of mana spires or mana stones, Hakimite is such a resource. A dark gem with intricate magical property. Craftsmen in Levant can create wizardly robes from this material. A lot of these special resources sell for a pretty penny, so they're worth holding them back to town. So now with our very beautiful mushroom shield, 2 of them, we can head back to town because our pouch and backpack are rather heavy. So my movement speed is gonna be quite slow right now. So anything interesting that I did get? Got the small sapphire that can be used in something here, but not right now. 30 silver. I didn't get any more iron. It should be good to go. I could see how's outside. Also, there's a door over here that requires a tiny aquamarine right now, which I don't have. Tiny aquamarines like some small sapphires and other gems can rarely drop from mining the iron nodes or other sort of nodes that are outside or in caves. To always keep an eye on those nodes, mine them, and if you get gems, consider yourself lucky and a very happy camper, because that's some neat money to have. So it's gonna position players, and oh, it's daylight. Yeah, I like daylight, so let's start running. Let's run back home and turn in this mushroom shield. So we are pretty tired, so let's take a quick breather and let's take a sip of water. And since I have some burnt stamina, I can recover some of it by drinking some bitter spicy tea. That's another chunk of my stamina back. And we also lighten our weight a little bit, because these weight, I think, 0.5 or something like that. But I hear battle. Oh, they're fighting some hyenas over there. That means scraps for me. Hello, boys. Room for one more? So the hyenas over there. Oh, what? You want a piece of me? Okay. There you go. Oh. They're bandits. He's knocked down and take a nap. Always let everybody else do the work, and you can get the loot. Arrows over here because you can use bows. I'm not a fan of bows in general. Predator bones. This is the stuff. This is the stuff that you should be looking for early in the game. Some salt and some money. A worm disarm, yeah, and hyena and more predator bones and more hide. So with predator bones, if you read the description very carefully, assortment of facts that can be used to craft equipment by binding them with iron weapons. We happen to have an iron weapon right now, an iron mace. So let's put it on our pocket, because we cannot craft things that are in our hands right now. And if you use an iron mace, something to bind them together, which usually is some linen, let's put some predator bones and see what happens. A fang club. And now our iron weapon became a fang club, which is something that hits exceptionally harder, hits faster, but also inflicts bleeding. And it looks brutal. Also, I have a lot of things in my back right now. This is also showing how slow I'm gonna move. I think since I'm gonna head over this way again, I don't think there's any more harm to just drop the pickaxe, since it has like 5 weight. That's a lot of weight. Still moving slow, but not as slow as I used to. Oh, that's another bird. Let's put our fang weapon to the test. And the pervert that took 4 hits now takes 3 hits. Some more eggs and meat. I know I'm very heavily damaged, but since we're close to here, so we can recover there with ease, so it shouldn't be much of a problem. The very heroic adventuring music of this area. Now we're loading. So with all the stuff that we looted, we can probably get some gear upgrade or pay off the debt even, if needed. So this one need a mushroom shield. So let's give it to her.
Greetings, friend.
I'm here about your work.
Lend me your ear.
I found that rare mushroom.
You've earned this.
We got 70 silver to our name now. And also I have something for you.
Lend me your ear.
I found something
I'm
unusual.
always interested
I found
in
this
curiosities.
strange garnet in the
What have you
ribcage of an
got?
ice giant.
Oh, an interesting piece.
I'll give you 30 silver for that. Sure, why not?
Excellent.
I'll leave you to your work.
I'll see you.
So right now we have 158 silver to our name. We're right now after able to go into a barrow, not sell anything else, just turning both a mushroom and a giant's heart. Enough money to pay off our debt. But there's something else we can do to pay off that debt, and I'm gonna show it in a minute or two after I'm done selling
What
things.
can I do for you? All right.
So we got some makeshift boots. No, we got padded boots, so we can sell this stuff. 6 silver for something that weighs 6. It's not a good return, which is why the rogue weapons are usually not good to pick up. However, trader boots weights 2, gets 6, sure. Machete weights 2, gets 5, sure. I have a discipline potion, hex cleansers. Stealth potion I'm not usually a fan of, which I usually sell. Hex cleansers can be useful, but for the sake of argument, you shouldn't be selling them, but I sell them sometimes. These things, I will talk about them in a minute. And I have a lot of meat, some hide. I could buy a plate helmet if I so desire, but that's gonna put me on 75. And the Hakemite, that sells for 50, which is a lot. And then a couple of mana stones here. Yeah, I'll sell the mana stones, why not? 100, almost an entire, from this hole alone, the entire blood debt could be paid, if I so desired. I'm gonna sell the minor summon too, why not? 152. All of it. Good enough. That's it. All of this gets sold, and now I am lighter as I can be. What else? Right, I wanted to have a helmet. Because I have some hides, I can make a makeshift helmet, or I could buy a pirate helmet
Is there
if I
something
wanted.
you need?
Spend 25 silver and get a pirate helmet. That's not bad actually, yeah. Small investment for proper protection, yeah. So, where's the helmet? There's the helmet. So, I talked about imbues here with the Dark Varnish. There's also another way to imbue your weapon with a lesser imbue, which are the rugs. If I use the poison rug, my weapon, on top of being able to inflict bleeding on the enemy, it's gonna inflict a poison on the enemy. And if I use the ice rug, it's gonna cause them to take frost damage when I hit them with it. So, elemental rugs, being shock rag or the ice rag or the poison rag or the ice or the fire rag, those are pretty huge sources of damage at any point of the game. So don't sleep on them, and learn how to make them and use them. Or rather than use them, abuse them, because they are really good. Right now I got some couple of spice beetles. I can make some more tea. I'm gonna cook some raw. No, I'm gonna not cook the meat. I'm gonna put it like this. Because if I use 2 pieces of raw meat and 2 pieces of salt, I can make jerky. And I'm turning 2 pieces of meat and 2 salt pieces into 5 pieces of meat. That's gonna be really handy. Empty this out, and now we're gonna make some grilled meat. I guess I could just make these 2. My backpack is gonna get rather heavy because I have so many pieces of meat right now, so much food. So I'm gonna deposit this jerky over here. Since I'm not gonna make makeshift gear, to put the hide over here. Predator bones, tiny sapphire, the seaweed. I don't know. The mushrooms, I'm gonna put them over here. Same for these two. Same for these. And antidotes right now, I'm not gonna be using them. Same for the impact potion. Same for the weather defense potion. What else? This I will show something in a minute or two. But before anything, we're low in HP. Couple of burnt HP. Let's sleep. If we sleep for too long, the game will tell you nothing interesting. I'm actually so full on things that the warnings didn't pop up. So if you sleep for too long and you don't meet your needs, it will tell you the game by lighting up one of the 4 icons. It will light up the bottle one for if you're gonna be thirsty when you wake up. The whatever other one is for food. One for tiredness. Let me see again. What are the icons? Yeah, this one for food. This one if you're gonna be tired, if you are using repair for too much, and this one for weather, either if you're gonna be too hot or too cold when you wake up. Always keep an eye on those. Let's drink here. Let's munch on some stew. The eggs, I could just cook them right now instead of having them raw, because if you have the eggs raw, they can carry diseases. Cooked bird egg. There we go. We got our food and we need to get more water. So right now with the money I have, I could pay off the debt. But there's another way, what is more important in my opinion, to know that you can pay off the debt. And it's by getting a tribal favor. The innkeeper told us, well, if you go to the beach, maybe somebody washed up there that you could help for a tribal favor. If you turn in the tribal favor, you get to keep all the silver that you gained. But if you paid with 150 silver, well, that's 150 silver you are out of. And early on, 150 silver is a substantial amount of money. See if any fishes. Oh, more fishes respawn. Can, if we get lucky. Oh, blue sand. That's a rare material. Blue sand. I'm gonna throw it on the cross salmon. We are lucky as it can be. Oh, turn 5. 26. I think there was a recipe I could do with the fishes, if I remember correctly. So, blue sand. Before I forget about, if you go to this smithy person here,
what can I do for
you
you?
can ask him to craft us some gear.
Here's what I need.
I can craft special armor from blue sand you bring me. Want some? And he will tell us, well, if you bring him 3 blue sand and 250, you can make a helm, 2 and 200 a pair of boots, or 5 and 400, and we can make a piece of armor. Worth knowing that blue sand armor is pretty good. It's not something that everybody else can be wielding, let's say. So let's put the blue sand that we gained right here into the stash, and let's see, and cook finally these 3 fishes before they spoil. Blue sand. And I'll put the mushroom bars over here too. Why not? You will often find yourself going back and forth the same places because you find something and say, okay, I need to go back and oh, I need salt. Throw the salt. Salt. If I remember correctly, it is fish, salt. Put a few by it. Yeah, that's another recipe unlocked. Sometimes it is worth knowing these recipes. Salted fish soup more restorative and nutritious than the fish alone. Granted, we turned 3 fish into a 3-piece meal, but its effects are higher than the individual pieces, so that's worth cooking most of the stuff that you have. It also lightens the load of your bags. So as I talked before, the front entrance of Cierzo is to the east, but to the west you may notice a very shiny light to a door, and it leads to the Cierzo storage. You can play along with friends in your friendlies, try multiplayer or either in split screen or online. This game has multiplayer, and you can play up to 2 people can play at the same time. There are, however, mods that allow you to play up to 10 people. The game is not designed for 10 people, but it can be an absolute madness. This storage has a couple of items that are worth grabbing. There's an additional bedroll over here that we can grab. Bedrolls cannot be sold nor disassembled for some reason, so I'd rather not have it around. Just leave it there. The Gamberry jam recipe over here. So in case you don't know how to make the Gamberry jam, you can just click on this, and the Gamberry jam that we can make right away uses 4 Gamberries. 4 Gamberries makes a piece of jam. Good. The open junk pile has another lantern, some hide and some hatchet, and a mining pick. Since I was asked to use that, I might as well just oblige. I must oblige. I'm gonna set it to 5. And let's see how that goes. Cierzo has a problem with trolls. It seems there's 2 of them, I believe. I saw 1. Not here. Oh, there's that one. I can see him in the distance. Come on, buddy. Bombs away! And now they're burning. They're taking damage. And that's 1 down. Gonna kick him, swipe him once, and he's dead. Of course, the disadvantage is that you don't have enough guns, so better have enough gun in a hotkey in case you're gonna be throwing lanterns. I think that's all of it. The storage didn't have much, but nonetheless, it's a pretty good place to look around. And you may notice there's more to here, just a slide over here. And before we keep going, there's a sign over here that reads the following: danger, going forward will strand you in the wilderness until you make your way back to the village. I imagine this sign was added at some point during testing, because people kept running off and then realizing, oh wait, I cannot get back here. And that must have bothered a lot of people enough that this sign was made. So we ignore the sign, we drop off, and we exit to Chersone. Chersonese, sorry. I forgot like an entire syllable. I call it Chersone. Because the extra syllable that just doesn't roll for me. And right now we are out on the very west, it seems, because there's ocean. So we are around this area over here. And we can see in the distance something really spooky, a giant lobster. So what we're gonna do is get ourselves ready for a very nasty fight. Not quite nasty, but I could imbue, but let's not do that right now. Let's eat some meat as well ahead of time. And let's see what the lobster can do. It will spot me at some point in time. And shoots lightning. Okay, elemental attack. Let's see. Swing, infuse, now infused. Gonna wait for him to attack. Explosion, kick, and now go all in. So now there's red droplets coming off the lobster. That means that he's bleeding. My bleed has successfully landed. Dodge a bit, throw a kick, landed, 1, 2, lobster is dead. We pick up our backpack, as always. I will mention that the first time I played this game, these mantis shrimps would absolutely wreck me. I would have a very, very hard time. So, if it looks too simple, I will let you guys know that it wasn't simple for me at the very start, so never feel discouraged. Stupid egg. Nope. Because I'm infused, my weapon does a lot of damage. And now this Bellbirds, instead of dying for 3 hits, die in 2. Which is also showing the power of imbues. Never take them lightly. So let's explore the beach a little bit. And find these giant shells that are shiny. Some ribcage. Just tells a story that something really massive washed up. Dead animals got their bones picked off. There's some debris over here, and we see a person over here. Michael Aberdeen, which...
I can't move. A pistol shrimp got me.
Tore a hole in my gut. Help me, please, before it comes back. Aberdeen is the name of the chamber lady in the town. So let's help this guy. Hold still, I have a bandage.
I can feel it working.
Thanks, Ilat.
Oh, thank you, Lord. I'm not going to die here.
Okay.
Thanks a bunch.
Oh, it's you, Smash. Thank you. A million times thank you. I owe you this. I will talk to Aunt Risa. Make sure you get a full tribal favor out of this.
Ow.
If you to run back just yet,
I'll
find out.
Run back home just yet.
I'll find a safe place to let the Maceman do this thing and then go home the second I'm able. And we got a right tribal favor. Written proof of your debt of the Blue Chamber. Written proof of the debt the Blue Chamber owes you. Because we help a member of the Blue Chamber, they owed us a favor, and we got a tribal favor. That will help buy the blood price, and we'll keep the 150 silver. Another pistol shrimp over here. We wait for the lightning, and we absorb the lightning, and as always, we wait for that. Kick. Swing once, swing twice, swing once, get a special. See the swing. I can block a couple of them if I so desire. Explosion cannot be blocked. I need to dodge. Kick once, block. And he's dead. I used a fair bit of stamina there, but as long as the encounter is finished by the time the fight ends, but by the time my stamina is done returning, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. Is the long short of it. So we're gonna keep picking up all these seaweeds. They are handy for other reasons. and we see the big thing here, the Amolite. We can mine it down. An Amolite. What does it say? Amolite. Fossilized shelter of ancient sea creatures. These iridescent stones are used to craft Amolite armor. Pretty important. So gathering these that usually spawn on the beach is worth a ton. So we have a lot of other things that we can craft. On top of the blue armor that we got right there. I'm gonna wait again for another shot so I can do mace infusion again. Refresh my buffs. Dodge that. Swing once, swing twice, swing twice. One special. And also something that is worth to point out, when I'm hitting the shrimp, his health bar shines a little bit silver, right? That means that the damage that I'm doing is being resisted. Pistol shrimps are resistant to lightning. So the imbue right here is not doing that much work, but it's doing some extra damage, at least a little bit more. I see some fishes over there, so we can get lucky maybe. Except we're not getting lucky and we're gonna get some more raw salmon. Also, getting the mace infusion is not a waste of time, because on top of getting my mace infused, I'm getting myself a boon, which is this buff right here. That increases my lightning damage and increases my resistance to lightning by 20%. That is very significant, because at the end of the fight I took a blow of lightning bolt to the face. 3 pieces of blue sand. I'm getting very, very lucky actually. Maybe with all the money I can get, I can probably make a good chest piece of blue sand. Some more raw salmon that I can cook together for another potafu or seaweed. Let's see what a few pirate gives me. Mana recovery, great. Not the one thing that I would want right now because I have no mana, period. But we can probably figure out how to get mana from somebody in the city. That's another pistol shrimp. Let's drink some more water. Do I have... I have these gunberries. Let me explore this stack. No, I think I will let them be. The elk gunberries, I can probably combine them into jam. Make them last a bit longer and be more stronger. Fish up these things. More larva egg. And, okay, I'm ready now. Infusion begins. The kick landed. 1, 2. It's knocked down. 1, 2. Swing once. Swing twice. Swing thrice. Dead. A mana stone, some insect husk, and some more larva egg. And its larva eggs are pretty good because I can do this. I can combine them with a piece of linen, like I talked before, and I can make bolt rags. So the thing that I have, a lesser version of the imbue that I have on my mace currently, which is worth having around. Imbues also, not the imbue, sorry, the rags don't have durability. I have 4 pieces of blue sand. I'm making it out like a bandit right now. So it shows you how profitable is fishing in this game. You know, also you're not getting just the fish, but you're getting other things on top of it. More fishes. So, am I gonna get the... I think the game doesn't want me to get the rainbow trout, because I need a very specific fish for the Cierzo ceviche that was asked to make in town. There's another mantis shrimp over here. We know the deal at this point in time, so let's see. Oh, the hyenas are going for it. Okay, let's watch. My money's on the shrimp winning though, because these guys are very mean. I could just drink some water right now. Actually, I will not drink some water right now because I can foresee both the hyenas dying at the same time and me having the water in my mouth. Hello. Infusion begins. Kick the land. So let's play conservative a bit. 2, 3, 4. Dead. There we go. And with minimal effort, we gained meat. We gained some more predator bones and more blue sand. How much blue sand did I get? 4. That's a lot of blue sand. A suspiciously huge amount of blue sand. There's a bellbird over there. Hello, buddy. You know, if I didn't whiff my blows, it would be fantastic. Since I'm not in a hurry to get my health back up, let's eat a meat stew, since I have a lot of them. And this, there we go. Let us proceed to the next area. Some gumberries over there, some pieces of wood. There you go. Let's see if we can find anything interesting. The rain also has an effect on us. Cold weather defense -2, frost resistance -2, fire resistance +25. That is a hefty, substantial amount of fire resistance. Crab eye. What crab eye do? Poisonous seed that, when grilled, is the first step of creating usable poisons. Poisons are really good. They're not that as good as bleeding, but they can make hit and run strategies pretty good. I see more gumberry and more berries over here. Also, the reason to pick up these berries is to keep getting those ochre spice beetles, since now we know we can make spice tea out of that, and the tea will recover our burnt stamina, like so. It's worth having a decent stockpile of those beetles and cooking them. The tea doesn't have any durability whatsoever, so even if you have a huge surplus of them, you can put them on your stash, and then if you need them again, you just withdraw an amount of them. So that's good. Those stone bricks usually tell that there's a supply chest nearby, and the supply chests are always worth checking. 3 bandages and 6 iron scraps. That's pretty good. Gumberries over here. We can loot some of them. And we can return back home now. But on the way back, we can get into fights and we can keep looting things, since we have plenty of space left, right? Yeah, we have an amount of time left. My boon and my imbue are running out. It's sad, but that's how things are with buffs. They have to run out eventually. So we can get some gumberry. There's a hyena over there. There's some pilbert over there. Hyena, you become my target for annihilation. 1, 2. We wait for a bit. We wait for a bit. We tell the hyena to come on. Attack. Kick. Hit 1, hit twice, he's dead. Patience. Never be too impatient. Just have patience, and you will be able to overcome a lot of the fights in the game. Granted, there are points that you just go caveman and unga bunga kill everything, and that might be the valid strategy. This very imposing mountain is Conflux Mountain. So we know we are around this area right here. We came through here, we ran over here, we raced over here. Oh, no, we are probably over here rather than here. We're over here. We're to the southeast, over here. And if we head this way over here, we can make our way back to Sierso. So let's... Oh, Pilbert. Swing once, swing twice. When they are low HP, they run away. And they are way too fast for me right now. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. Sometimes some monsters flee when they're low HP. Dun, 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 dun. So let's begin moving back. And hopefully we can find other enemies to battle with. Any iron nodes over here? I vaguely remember some. Oh. Well then. Well then. Drop my backpack friendly. Well then, what can we do with you? I think it's time to break out the discipline potion. Concoction that temporarily increases your physical damage. Let's put the rug in. Let's break this thing out. Let's drink the tea. Let's prepare to fight. I see an archer and I see a spearman. I dislike archers a lot, so you're the first to go. Spearman, I have a trick to move on this side. Kick them once. And send them to sleep. Five linen rugs, that's pretty good. A looter armor, that's pretty good. My bags are a bit overloaded. So, iron sword over here. So, as I said about patterns when making items, we know how to make punk club. We see that it is an iron mace, some predator bones, and some linen cloth. Which begins the question, what happens if I put an iron sword instead of a club, put some linen over here, and put some predator bones that I happen to have spare? We can make punk swords now. And the Fang sword, in comparison to our beloved iron sword, is way better, except that it has lower durability. The same happens to the club, but I don't imagine our club running out of durability as quickly as the Fang sword. But it has more durability, so I get to swing it more, and that's good enough for me. I see another supply chest. I see some iron over there. Let's go and see what the supply chest over here has. Oil bomb. Well, now that's something. Explodes after a moment, dealing fire damage, and the scorched hex. I want to move it to the pocket. whenever I drop my backpack so I can actually use it. And I'm gonna put it on number 3 in case I ever need to use it. Mine this iron. I get some more thick oil. So another iron vein over here, which is a very good time to show another recipe. So you don't need to pay for it. All free for charge. Free of charge. Some iron scrap here, iron scrap here, iron scrap here, iron scrap here. And you get to make iron spikes. Spikes that must be placed in a tripwire trap, inflicting damage to enemies that step on it. Let's see if we can find some unfortunate souls that can run into our tripwire experiment. So let's check on the roads and see if there's any banditos. I don't see any banditos. I see a bellbird over there. Drop our bags and tell the bellbird to come on. Take 2 hits, 3 hits, and he's dead. The discipline boon did its work. Oh yeah, right, the discipline boon. I forgot to mention what it does. Discipline boon increases physical damage done by 15%, which is really good if you're a very heavy physical damage dealer. Different boons have different effects. And there's I believe 1 for each element, and then there's 2 extra more that are important to have around. Hallowed trunk, another lantern, and some hatchet. We're getting rather heavy on our backpack, so let's see if I can shift around some of the weight. Also, the fang weapons are rather light. Pretty good. Yeah, that should do it. That should make me a bit lighter. Keep grinding some gumberries. Never let them go to waste. Turn them into jam, apply them to the bread. Make great use of them because, as I said, stamina is very important in this game, and without stamina you're not unable to do anything. You're unable to do anything on this game. Cannot attack, blocking becomes impossible, dodging becomes very difficult. We found our first unfortunate souls. Oh, I used to have my tripwire on Q rather than on E, so I used advantage, but doesn't matter. Tripwire trap. Let's put some spikes. Say, there we go. Spikes are down. And we're gonna loot these guys in. Come on. I'm over here. And it's like, oh, this guy is very difficult. Boom. Half of his health is gone, and he's now affected by pain. Pain increases physical damage taken. So now that this guy became ultra softy, cancel that immediately. Don't bandage. Put another tripwire spike over there. Come on, Stinky. Boom. Also, like their impact goes to really, really low values. If you notice as well, their life bars flashed red when I was hitting them. They were highly vulnerable to physical damage while they were under the effect of pain. So don't sleep on that stuff. Don't sleep on inflicting pain and tripwire traps. Because lowering the physical resistance of somebody is very, very helpful if you're if you're very reliant on smashing their heads in with your weapon. You could be a caster for all I know. So, like, you could just lower the resistance to magical damage in any other way. But I think the important thing is make your life easier by laying traps or any other thing that makes your enemies softer and weaker. So otherwise, the one on the ground is not gonna be them, it's gonna be you. We got our travel favor, and we got a lot of loot to sell, and we got blue sand to also transform into something else. So let's, first things first,
Greetings, friend.
offload things to this guy. The Fang Sword, let's sell it off. Let's sell off this hatchet, this other hatchet. Luther armor sells for 5. Not bad. I'm gonna keep the lanterns, but I'm gonna throw them, I guess. The travel favor says 5, but we don't want to sell this. Predator bones sell for 8. I'm gonna keep them around. Insect husks, I know they can be used for something else, but I like to sell them because they sell for a pretty amount. The hides, I'm gonna keep them. Star mushroom can be used for magic restoring elixirs, but let's put them off. Blue sand cents for 14 each, and ammonite cents for 10 each. The Azure shrimps as well. I'm gonna sell them. Now I'm gonna receive 106 silver, which is a hefty amount of money. But now I'm a bit heavier, because now I have 4 pounds worth of silver in my backpack. So in order to transfer that,
Greetings, friend.
I can buy this stuff, gold ingots. Say I want to transport, let's say I have 3,000, I could have 30 ingots, because each ingot is weighs 0.1, where 100 silver, if I were to drop it, I moved it to my pocket. Right, I thought I dropped it. No, I didn't drop it. I moved it to my pocket. It's 1. So I'm cutting it all by 10% of its weight.
Greetings, friend.
By making it into an ingot. So it's very important to know. Tribal favor, that's right. First things first. I see fish over here. No fish. Let's turn in the tribal favor. And so we have to turn to the town hall and talk to the chamber lady, who is waiting for us here.
Greetings.
How goes your
How go
efforts?
your efforts?
I want to talk about my blood price.
You have a way to make that payment? Show me.
So I can say 150, or I earned a tribal favor, which we did. Diggs, by the way, 7. How you doing? I earned a tribal favor.
And on time, too. I'm impressed.
I'm impressed. You've proven that you can be an excellent asset to the tribe when you put your mind to it.
Well
Consider
done.
permit Delbridge.
Ciezo thanks you for your great deed.
Okay.
Oliel and Izan are leaving Ciezo.
You should speak to them before they go. What do you mean? They're leaving? What's going on?
Oliel is leaving to go join the holy mission of Elat.
Elat. Nothing I could say convince her to stay. Sure, I'll miss her.
As will we all.
I don't suppose you could convince her to stay. She's my only daughter. She's set to inherit the clan when I join the ancestors. No, I don't suppose you'll be able to convince her. Her mind is made up. And Yasan, why is he leaving? He can't be ready for another expedition already.
A blood price has been declared upon his bloodline.
So because of his fuck up with the ship, he now has to pay a blood price because 12 people died. The shipwreck that killed so many people and nearly took your life was the fault of your son's brother, Roland. A blood price has been declared upon his bloodline. What? How can you be so sure?
Roland fell asleep on duty.
So we now find out that Roland was on the lighthouse. And he confessed as such to me himself.
This is unacceptable.
Roland accepts the consequences of his action. Yasan refuses. He has chosen to extract himself from Cierzo forever rather than do his duty to the tribe and bear the blood price. This is unfair. I start
The
pushing
blood
Roland.
price must be levied against an entire bloodline.
Otherwise, the one who bears it would be pushed to act selflessly rather than repay what is owed to the tribe. Against a line, it can be held for as long as needed to. Against an individual, it promotes only bloodshed.
The blood price is not a punishment.
The blood is not a punishment, it's a repayment for a wrong, and it allows those who suffered to get their fair compensation without violence. Without it, it would be ruled by revenge and a mob rule.
Come back once you've said your goodbyes to them.
Once you've done, should discuss your future here in Cierzo, now that you can handle the world outside. There's things that need to be deposited before we start talking to other people, but because I gave the tribal favor, I get to keep my money, my 394. I got an anemonite. And I'm feeling like I should see what I can do with it. I can use the blue sand to make something.
What can I do for? Here's what I need.
I need 400 silver and 5 blue sand. I have 5 blue sand and almost 400 silver. So let's see what I can squeeze.
Is there something you need?
To make that 400 silver. I also need the anemonite hen pattern. So let's begin from that position. Let's sell you. Let's sell you. The mace, we can probably sell it. The larva eggs, even though I don't want to sell them much, I have to sell them. And but let's sell this 8 oil. Because right now I don't quite need it. So give me 29 and the pattern. So let's see how the pattern of anemonite helmet is. Anemonite helmet. Padded, which I'm already using, and a palladium scrap, which I don't have. But oh boy, that's a lot of stats. So we turn this padded helmet with 5 physical resistance, 7 frost resistance, 9 impact resistance, and some cold weather defense into something that has protection, resistances up the wazoo, damage bonus, cold weather defense, but has a penalty of mana cost, stamina, and it has very increased durability. Becomes heavier. That's pretty good. I have to find some way to get a palladium scrap, which I'm pretty sure I will find out how to make one. Let's get that piece of blue sand that I got from here, because I was sure I had one. And oh right, before everything of these ones rot. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. And all the bread turned into jam, so I turned 4 jams into 12 pieces of Gamberry tartarine, which is huge. I can probably turn all those ochre beetles into spicy teas. 2, 3. I need more water. Cooking is something that I'm gonna be doing a lot. But now, I'm gonna do one last thing before the stream reaches its conclusion, which is commissioned the blue armor chest piece. If I have enough blue sand and enough money, might as well just do that and get the most expensive piece out of the way.
What can I do
Craft
for
me
you? Here's what I
a
need.
piece of armor. I am pretty sure of that.
Well, bye.
It will tell me that in 24 hours my piece of
What
armor
can I
will be
do?
done.
All right.
I also wanted to check on something. I want to check. Oh, right. Oh, yeah, it's over here, but I'm not going to talk to her just yet. I will do that next stream. Since I'm here, I might as well just go to the water purifier and grab over here some water. Since no fishes have respawned, I might as well take the 24-hour sleep to pick up the piece of armor that I got. Check on the trainer because I think it's 50 the amount of money I need to pay for the skill. Ito,
Amber,
tell
my
me.
Curious. Amber, my friend.
It's 50. Yeah, I need more payment. So
Can I help you?
let's see what I can get rid of. Okay, better than the ring. I could probably get rid of a couple of them. The fishes I can, yeah, for sure. I think I have enough of these beetles. I could probably sell for a couple, even though I shouldn't. But the predator bones I can maybe get more at some other point. No big deal. And now I need 7 more. Dark varnish. Yeah, dark varnish. Your sacrifice will be remembered.
Amber, my
Ito,
Curious.
train
Amber,
me.
my friend.
So I could choose steady arm or I could choose fitness. But fitness is a pretty good all around. I will eventually get enough money to buy these two. But now I have extra 25 HP. Maximum HP 25. And I restore extra 20% HP when sleeping. Let's discover another recipe by drinking some, by combining another beetle and some water. I should probably also prepare my gear while I'm doing the sleeping. So what I need is some water and some mineral tea, mineral bug, and I can discover mineral tea. Mineral tea is the one that heals my burnt health, and usually these beetles are in mineable nodes. Go to sleep. I said 24 hours, so let's oblige and go for 24 hours. Pick up our blue sand armor. We spent a hefty amount of money on it, so it better be good. But also I know now that if I need to get materials for it, I can go on the area to the west on the beach or kill a lot of mantis shrimps for their blue sand. It's getting a full set of that would not be a bad idea at all. Oh, some other thing that I need to check before I pick up the armor. There's the alchemist over here, because maybe you're interested in learning how to get mana.
Hey there.
Or learning magic more like. Can you teach me about magic? I could wax poetic about it all day. What got your curiosity? What actually is mana and how do you control it?
Mana is energy that flows through everything.
Plants, animals, people, even rocks. Mages who have learned how to capture that energy and unleash it in form magic spells.
Magic is something that requires patience to master.
By commanding spells on the right sequence, you can achieve better results than using the spells on their own. Anything else? Can you teach me about magic? Where can I learn magic?
To unlock the power of mana, you must travel to a ley line, a place where Ori's life flows strong.
The nearest one is under the Conflux Mountain, you know? The large purple mountain in Chersonese.
The Holy Mission and the Kingdom of Levant have their own paths into the Conflux Mountain as well.
And each one will test you differently. They all lead to the main chamber. Anything else? No, not really.
See ya.
Let's turn on the lantern.
What can I do for
I'm here
you?
to collect my armor
All
piece.
right.
We got the blue sand armor. My current one weighs 6. This one weighs 15. But it has 3 protection, 20 resistances to physical, 20 to decay, 20 to lightning. Impact resistance of 19, minus 10 hot weather defense, which, okay, I will be more hot. But, geez, Louise, this is a lot of things. I will lose the pouch bonus, which is sad, but look at this beauty. I need more lightning. More lightning over here. Now, that is beautiful. But that's one piece down. I have 2 more pieces to go. And my things are gonna cost a little bit more to do. But no matter. You can probably sell these.
What can I? All right.
Yeah, you can sell the makeshift leather set here. I'll sell my damaged mining pick. There we go. And with that, I believe it's a good stopping point for this morning. Thanks everybody who showed up today. As always, I like to point out that there's on the bottom part of my stream a link to my YouTube archive channel where I put all my Twitch archives. I put them like almost immediately. But yeah, thank you for coming up, and maybe later we'll stream something else as well. So have a good morning or afternoon or evening wherever in the world you are, and take care. Bye bye.